here is just immense. This saying really sets the entire tone. See, it's not just a journey. It's a profound act of devotion with the ultimate reward. So, what exactly does this incredible pilgrimage entail?
So, where does the Hajj actually fit into the larger picture of Islam? Well, to really get its significance, we have to start with its foundation as one of the 5 core pillars of the faith.
At its core, the Hajj is a sacred duty. It's a once-in-a-lifetime obligation for every Muslim who has the health and the financial means to undertake it. It's not just a recommendation, it's considered a fundamental part of the faith.
And at the heart of the entire pilgrimage is this simple, yet profoundly powerful, cube-shaped building, the Kaaba. It's located in Makkah and is considered the very first house of worship built for all of humanity. It serves as the spiritual epicenter for over 1 billion Muslims who turn towards it in prayer every single day. But here's the thing, the Hajj doesn't just start when a pilgrim arrives in Makkah. No, the journey truly begins long before that, with preparation and, maybe most importantly, with intention.
What's interesting is that there isn't just one single way to perform the Hajj, there are actually 3. Now for this explainer, we're going to focus on the most common and recommended path, which is called Hajj Tamattu. This basically involves performing a shorter, related pilgrimage called an Umrah first, right before the main Hajj rites begin.
And when it comes to preparing, you've really got 2 sides of the same coin. On one hand, you have all the practical stuff, packing the simple ihram clothes and sandals. But on the other hand, you have the spiritual essentials, things like cultivating a pure intention, having patience, and just a deep consciousness of God. Both are absolutely crucial for the journey ahead.
Now, before any ritual can even begin, a pilgrim has to enter this sacred state known as ihram. For men, this means shedding all their regular stitched clothing for 2 simple, white, unsewn cloths. It's an incredibly powerful symbol. It just strips away all signs of wealth, status, and nationality, reminding everyone that in the eyes of God, they are all equal. All right, so once a pilgrim arrives in Makkah in their state of ihram, the first set of rituals begins. This is all part of what we call the Umrah. This part of the journey involves 4 key things. First up is the tawaf, which is circling the Kaaba 7 times in this massive flowing sea of fellow worshippers. Then, pilgrims pray behind a station that marks where the prophet Abraham is believed to have stood. After that, they drink from the sacred well of Zamzam, and finally they perform the sa'i, a brisk walk between 2 small hills that reenacts a desperate search for water by Hagar for her son Ishmael. So after completing that Umrah, pilgrims can actually relax for a bit until the 8th day of the Islamic month of Dhul Hijjah arrives, because that is when the core rites of the Hajj truly begin. This map here gives us a great sense of the physical journey that's about to unfold. Leaving the city of Makkah, millions of pilgrims travel together through a series of holy sites in a very specific order. First to Mina, then out to the plains of Arafat, on to a place called Muzdalifa, and eventually back to Mina again. So on day 8, pilgrims head to the giant tent city of Mina to spend the day and night in prayer. Then on the morning of day 9, they make their way to the plains of Arafat, and this is the absolute high point of the entire pilgrimage. After sunset, they move to Muzdalifa, where they'll pray and gather small pebbles for the rituals in the days to come. This short, incredibly powerful saying from the Prophet Muhammad, it just encapsulates everything. If a pilgrim misses being at Arafat on this day, their Hajj isn't even considered valid. It's a day of intense personal prayer and repentance, where millions stand before God, all seeking forgiveness together. From the spiritual peak of Arafat, we now move into the final, action-packed days of the Hajj, and these days are filled with a whole series of deeply symbolic rituals. Day 10 is just incredibly busy. Pilgrims return to Mina to cast 7 pebbles at a pillar, which is a symbolic act of rejecting temptation. This is followed by an animal sacrifice. After that, men shave their heads and women trim a lock of their hair, and this signals their release from the state of ihram. And finally, they return to the Great Mosque in Makkah for one more tawaf and sa'i to complete the main rites. But the journey still isn't quite over. For the next 2 or 3 days, pilgrims stay in that tent city of Mina. And each day they repeat the stoning ritual, but this time at all 3 pillars. And then, before they leave Makkah to start their long journey home, there is one final, really poignant act, the farewell tawaf, a last circumambulation of the Kaaba. So, after all these rituals, after this intense physical and spiritual journey, what's the ultimate takeaway? What's the end result? This is the profound spiritual outcome. A Hajj that is accepted by God is believed to wipe away all of a person's past sins. It is a complete spiritual reset. It's a chance to return home with a clean slate, essentially, reborn. And that leaves us with this final thought. In a world so often defined by division and our differences, what does it mean for millions of people, stripped of all worldly distinctions, to come together, to walk the same path, and to share the very same purpose? The Hajj is just a powerful testament to unity, to equality,